Okie dokie. We are wrapping up our unit with quadratics, solving by factoring, solving by quadratic formula, graphing their characteristics, and even graphing the characteristics of quadratic inequalities. For those that hadn't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. First thing we're going to start off with is factoring. Okay. So remember, we start with two parentheses. Now, shh, hey, the arguing over whatever, it's got to stop. All right. So this negative 28 tells us our signs are different. All right. Yep. This tells us our bigger sign is negative. Now, what two numbers we know automatically go into 28? Yeah, 7 and 4. Now, remember, at this point, you can actually cut them and set up two different equations and solve them from there. It doesn't matter if you do the equations or you don't do the equations. Potato, potato. It's how it works for you. Some people have remembered that the answer is going to be the opposite of what's in the parentheses. So -4, +7. That's it. You don't have to do braces. You don't have to do x equals. You just got to give me the numbers. Okay. And that's it for that one. All right. All right. Number 2. What's the first thing we need to do? Yeah. Yeah, we got to subtract that 2x from both sides. All right. So we end up with x squared minus 2x minus 24 equals 0. And we put it in this form because we're always looking for this form. That's the form. That's our quadratic form that we have for this. All right. So I don't know. It's very loud. If I can hear it and I can only hear out one ear, that means that somebody's going to be really deaf by the time that you are like 20. All right. So uh, if this is a negative, this tells us our signs are different. This is a negative. This tells us our bigger number is negative. Now, what two numbers? Okay. And those that have to cut it, we'll cut it and set it equal to this. All right. And then those that can go straight from here, it's the opposite. Okay. Either way, did somebody say -5? All right. If you were to solve this, as I've said on this one and the first one, oh, I just didn't solve it. Yeah. I set it up like I did this one. I just didn't solve it. So +6. Will somebody open the door, please? Thank you. All right. So we're moving on to number 3. All right. X and X. Wow. I went just whole hog on doing the negatives today or yesterday. The, so yeah, I know Siri. A lot of people don't. All right. What two numbers do we know that will go into 36? All right. Well, 9 and 4. What's 9 minus 4? 5. All right. So remember, if you cut it to solve, thank you. You could sit there and solve this. All right. We would still get -4 and +9. Okay. Now, what's the first thing we have to do on number 4? X times 20. Not X times 20, but move the 20. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right. Possibly. What? Yeah, these on this side it won't go away because those are unlike terms. All right. So, and thank y'all for those that helped me out on that. I'm going to move that over. All right. What two numbers when we multiply them? Yeah. So again, if we cut it, I don't know how I ended up doing that. I was making this yesterday during fourth block. I have no idea how this worked out. Yes, sir. Yes, it would matter. All right. Remember from what we've had before, which is a little bit difficult because we've had a week off. This number right here, this sign tells us our signs are different. Okay. This tells us our bigger number is negative. Because if we were to have +5 and -4, that means when we multiply it, this would not be minus 1x. This would be plus 1x. All right, so -4, add 5, add 5. So yes, apparently I got on a -4 kick yesterday and decided to have all these like that. Honestly, you want to know what I did? Is I took like your old test that was on this stuff in Unit 8 and just picked 4 random things, and the 4 random things I had just happened to have -4s in them. No, really, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. I was yesterday during fourth block. Wow. All right. Are we good with numbers part 1, number 1 through 4? Remember, each of these are 4 points apiece. That gives you 1 point per number for the sign and then 1 point per number for the actual number. Yes. That's not a question, that's a statement. All right. I know you hadn't been here, but have you watched the videos that's been online? YouTube or Schoology or anything? I can't. Today is a pre-practice test. Monday we will have a practice test. Tuesday is like the actual test. So you're coming in on a good time to actually get some basis of what we're doing. Now, for those that sit there and don't do anything actively and know what's going on, yeah, they're probably going to crash pretty hard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So I was thinking about this. A lot of this stuff, if you don't have it set up correctly, you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay. So I'm actually grading, you know, you get 2 points per thing. This whole part, this find A, B, and C, is worth 6 points right here. Setting this up correctly is worth 5 points. Okay, that's 11 points out of the possible 17 points for this problem. Okay, now remember, this is the form. So this is how we get our A, B, and C. All right, so what is A for this one? 5. That's 2 points right there. Yeah, that's why it says 2 points each. Okay. What would be B? -1. And then what is C? -1. Okay, look, the form is right here, guys. Even if today is the first day you've been here all week, you should be able to, because there's a -1 in front of the X. Now, I didn't copy over this part, but remember your quadratic formula actually looks like this. It's -b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, it's on the notes and the handouts and stuff like that. So, this whole part, this is 6 points right here. And then this is 5 points because there's 5 places. All right. So we're plugging stuff in. So a -1 goes here, a -1 goes here. That takes care of my B's. A 5 goes here, 5 goes here. That takes care of my A's. And then another -1. All right. So I tried to give you enough space. I'm sorry if some people are like, you can never give me enough space. So, there's always extra paper for y'all to use. All right. All right. Hang on with the joke. All right. So this is 10. Negative times a negative is a positive. And then all this ends up being 21. Now, if we try to take the square root of 21, we just get the square root of 21, not 21. It still comes back with that little square root sign and stuff. So our actual answer for this one is this right here. Now, remember, I'm trying to set these up and uh, so they'll look like this. What? Oh. So I'm trying to set it up so they'll look like this. They'll have that little square root symbol. Okay? Because if it ends up being like, or we get a perfect square, that meant we could have factored it. Okay. All right. So this problem, this whole problem, this is 17 points right here. Yeah, because you get 6 points or 2 points each for A, B, and C. You get 5 points for plugging in A, B, and C in the right spot. And then you get 6 points for this. All right. So let's look at number 6. What is A for number 6? 1. What is B? -3. 5. Okay. Notice none of the A, B, or C has an X in it anywhere. Okay. So now we plug this in. All right. And that's what it should look like after we plug it into the quadratic formula. All right. So then we start cleaning it up. Well, that's easy. That's just 2 on the bottom. This is a +3. We write our plus or minus. And then when we do the discriminant, which is everything underneath the square root, all right. Oh, oh, we get -11. You cannot have a real square root of a negative number. Yes. So when we actually answer this, because we would take the square root of 11 in the calculator, we'd still get the square root of 11. And then we would actually put this. That's our answer. How did I get 11? Well, I used my calculator and I typed in -3 squared -4 times 1 times 5. Well, if I was just that person that just didn't want to use my calculator, well, this is 4 times 5, which is 20. Well, 9 minus 20 is -11. Yes, a square root is not 11 divided by itself. A square root is what two numbers, when you multiply them, give you that. 11 does not have a perfect square. That's why these calculators should be set to give you, like, if you type in the square root of 11 in these calculators, it should say square root of 11 back. All right. Are we good on number 6? Again, how many points are these type problems? 17. Who said 38? Yes, that's an I. We had that earlier this week when we took the square root of a negative number. Yeah, I'll count off. If it's supposed to have an I in there and you don't, I'll count off. Because that's not how it's supposed to be. All right. Are we about good with number 6? We're ready to move on. They can't hear you. All right. Moving on to number 7. All right. What is A for number 7? 3. Awesome. What is B? What is C? 5 and 5 go here. 3 goes here. Okay. So all we do is just take those and put it in there. Okay. Then we kind of start cleaning it up a little bit. So let's see what this would be. 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1. All right. We get 13. Can we take the square root of 13? No, because the square root of 13 is just the square root of 13. So this is our answer. All right. So again, the main emphasis on these problems, even though they're worth so much, is actually setting them up correctly. No, it's not about you getting the right answer. It's about you knowing how to get to the answer. So let's say, for instance, if you do mess up on A, B, or C, that's where I'm going to count off. Yeah, yeah. If you mess up anywhere in like anywhere here or here, that will not affect this answer unless it's just totally blank. Okay? Because if you set these problems up wrong, you're going to get the wrong answer. So the issue is not in the answer, it's actually in the setup. All right. Now, for this one, you actually get these for 1 point each. It went down a little bit because you should know what A, B, and C is by this part of the test. Okay? All right, so what is A? 1. What is B? 4. C is 0. Because remember, it looks like this. All right, if there's not anything here, it's 0. Okay, if it was going to be 1, there would be it would look like this. It would be a 1 right there, but there's not a 1 right there. Okay, all right. So if we plug this in, this is negative times 4, 2 times 1. This gives us negative 4 over 2, which gives us negative 2. All right, you get 2 points for that. Now, our vertex, we know that negative 2 is going to go right here because this is our x. Who remembers how we find the y for the vertex? You do the thing. You do the thing with the stuff and the numbers. Yeah. You actually take this x value and plug it in everywhere we see x right here. You do the thing with the stuff and the numbers and the letters. All right. So negative 2 squared plus 4, parentheses, negative 2. All right. So we end up getting negative 4. It's happenstance. This was not on purpose. Okay. Now, so This is 1 point each, so this part is 3 points. This is 2, this is 3. So this right here altogether that we've done so far is worth 8 points. Yes. What? All right, so I'm using this line as my fraction bar. So negative times 4 is negative 4. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 4 divided by 2, negative 2. All right, so remember our vertex goes in the middle. Okay, all right. If this is negative 2, what's the numbers to the right? Negative 1 and 0. What about to the left? Okay, now again, like yesterday, I didn't give y'all the boxes, but I wrote it on the board of how to do the 1A and 3A. All right, so this has a ratio of 1A. Well, our A is 1, so that gives us 1. What is negative 4 plus, whoop, wrong color, plus 1? Negative 3. That's how we get that point. These two are with the value of 3A. Well, that means that this is 3 times 1, which is 3. So we would take this value right here, negative 3, this y value in front of it, and then we would add 3 to it. And what do we get? And there you go. All right. Yes. No. The last two will always be 0. The only thing that is a constant is this part right here, is the 1A and the 3A. Okay, that's the only constant that we have right there. Those values will change based off our A's and the numbers in front of them. All right, so look at here. This says 1 point each. How many blanks were there for you to fill in? 10. So this whole thing is worth 10 points. Now, what if you mess up on the vertex, but you actually do everything right here based off the vertex? No, the points are counted off the vertex part. Yeah, if you mess up here, this is where I'm going to count off. I've had people get this wrong, but get this part right all the time. And then conversely, I've had people get this right, and then some of this just goes screwy. Okay. All right. Moving on to number 9. What is our A? Negative 1. Very good. What is our B? What is our C? 5. All right. So if we plug this in, we get negative 4 over negative 2 this time, which gives us 2. All right. So we can plug this 2 in right here for the x of our vertex. We got to find the y. So as y'all very, precisely said on the last problem, we have to do the thing with the stuff and the things. All right. Negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 5. Bam. All right. What did y'all get for this? 9. All right. So, what should this kind of look like across here? I know a lot of people would go, oh, this is 1, 2, 3, and then that will go back and add 0. That's actually what I would do because I can count 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait. Waiting. Waiting. Not waiting anymore. All right. So remember, this is 1a. Well, that's 1 times negative 1 this time, which gives us negative 1. So what is 9 plus negative 1? 8. Okay. These two are 3a, which means 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. Okay, the suspense was almost too much. All right, so then we have to say 8 plus negative 3, which is the same thing as 8 minus 3, and we get 5. All right, so not really do anything a whole lot different. Okay, good on this one? Yes, no, maybe? All right, and the last one. All right, this is what we covered yesterday, which the only new part for this is this part right here. We still get 1 point for this part right here. All right, so first of all, is this solid or dotted? This is dotted because there's not a line up underneath the inequality sign. Okay, which way do we shade, up or down? Up, because the y is being eaten. Okay, what is our A? What is our B? 0. That's not exactly what you want to say. All right, this right here, B is the term beside X. There's not a term beside X, so there is a 0. All right. So honestly, for this one, the only thing that changes from 10 that from the previous two is you get a point for saying if it's solid or dotted, a point for if which way it's shaded, and a point for A, B, and C again. Okay. Now, what did we learn for those that were here and paying attention? Yeah, anytime B is 0, this is going to be 0. It's my favorite thing is when B is 0. Those are the easiest things for me to do. Okay. All right, to find our Y, yes, no. Good question, but you got to do the math part of it to figure it out. Yeah, because we plug in 0 for X. That cancels this out, so we're just left with, yeah. I've had students that they have figured this out with every time b is 0 because I've told them, and there's no work anywhere on their paper. They put 0 here, they put it here, and then they automatically know this. That's absolutely fine. Yes. Yeah. Now, this one only has an A and a C. So basically, your Y value for that is going to be whatever's left that doesn't have an X. So, yeah, those are nice. All right. So, a 0 goes here, a 3 goes here. This should go 1 and 2. This should go -1, -2. All right. So, we do our ratio. Well, 1 times 1 is 1. So, what is 3 plus 1? 4. All right, so we have 3a, which is 3 times 1, which is 3. So now we have to take 4 and we add 3 to it. So this would be 7. That's it. Yeah, this is actually not as hard as what people think. I tried to put just enough problems on there to not overwhelm people. And I tried to put this on here enough where everybody's like, oh, okay, I get more points for setting it up, because I have tons of students, they can set stuff up all day long, but they don't know how to follow through with it. And some people will have a humanistic error where they'll set stuff up wrong by accident. All right, remember, if you hadn't subscribed, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. Good stuff, good things. Roll Tide.